If you've ever sat down and thought, I want to write, but I have no idea what to write, you're not alone.
So, we're sharing 5 of our favorite brainstorming strategies, things we actually use to help you get inspired and start writing.
If you are new to our channel, welcome to From Blank Page to Bookshelf. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Shelley, and together we are Ellie Rhodes. And today we're tackling something we all face, how to actually come up with a story idea.
Our first strategy, start with a simple but powerful question, what if? We go back and forth with what if questions until something clicks. Sometimes it's just the seed of a scene, other times it becomes the entire premise of a book. For example, when we were brainstorming our second book, Runaway Groom, we already knew it was Maggie's story, the only sister in the Reynolds family. And we wanted her to fall for someone outside of our small town. So we asked, what if Maggie met someone in Vegas? Then we had to figure out why she's in Vegas. So we asked, what if she's a bridesmaid in a college friend's wedding? And what if she complains about always being a bridesmaid and never a bride? One question led to another, and before we knew it, we had a story we couldn't wait to write.
It's nice to have someone to bounce ideas off, but if you don't, try making a list of 10 wild what ifs and don't edit yourself.
Now, here's the second strategy we use. Character first thinking. Plot can wait, focus on character.
A lot of our favorite stories started with a character first. You get to know them and the plot forms around them. This is especially true when writing a series. When we mapped out our Deer Creek Falls series, we knew our main characters.
Ask yourself, who is your main character? What do they want? And what's standing in their way? Give them a secret, a flaw, and a fear.
Right. For example, in the first book of our series, Catch Me, our main character is Paige Turner. She's a New York book editor chasing a traditional publishing deal for her own romance sports trilogy. Her problem? Her boss refuses to publish her work. Her secret? She's writing under a pen name. Her flaw? She believes she can't call herself a real author without that traditional deal. And her fear? That her secret identity as a romance author will be exposed, especially to her high school crush, who has no idea he's the inspiration behind her book's swoony lead. Next up, let's talk about one of our favorite ways to generate story ideas, ripped from the headlines.
For sure, this one is super underrated. If you've ever read a bizarre news story and thought, you can't make this stuff up, well, guess what? You can, and you should. Basically, the idea is this. Take a real-life news story and use it as a spark for your fiction. You're not writing a biography or a true crime retelling. You're using the core situation or emotional hook as inspiration.
Exactly. Ask yourself, what's the heart of the story? Is it betrayal, revenge, an underdog standing up to power? Then twist it, flip it, and throw it into your genre.
For example, here's a headline. Retired librarian discovers hidden treasure map tucked inside a donated book.
Instantly, I'm thinking, use a what if question. What if the map's a hoax, but someone out there believes it's real and starts hunting her down? Or maybe it does lead somewhere, but instead of gold, it uncovers a secret that was meant to stay hidden.
Exactly. And you can spin it in any genre. Want a cozy mystery? Make it a quaint small town with a nosy neighbor and a cat named Pickles. Prefer a thriller? Add a dark figure in a trench coat who always seems one step behind her.
Or make it a romance. The librarian joins forces with a grumpy historian who thinks it's all nonsense until sparks and danger start flying.
Gotta love a good romance and the grumpy trope, right? Here are a few tips if you're going to try this. Change the location, time period, or who's involved. Focus on the emotion or conflict at the center of the story. Ask what if questions. What if it happened to someone else? What if it had gone differently?
And if you're feeling stuck, just browse the headlines on Google News, BBC's Odd News, or even Reddit's Today I Learned. Keep a swipe file of wild, weird, or moving headlines that spark something in you.
Just remember, you don't have to use the whole story. Sometimes one line is all it takes to send your imagination running.
All right, number 4. Borrow from your favorites, books, shows, and movies. Now, we're not saying copy. We're saying remix. What trope or plot twist do you love? How could you spin it to make it your own?
This strategy works great for characters too. We're both fans of the TV show Castle, and when I was writing our reader magnet, Merry Christmas Eve, I had Nathan Fillion's portrayal of Castle in mind for Mason Mitchell. When Castle first meets Kate Beckett, there's an instant spark, but she doesn't like him. He's a charming, ego-driven playboy who's totally intrigued by her. Now, Mason isn't a playboy, but he does have that same playful energy. He was definitely the image in my head whenever he was interacting with Eve.
Okay, before we dive into number 5, we just want to say thanks for hanging out with us today. We're seriously glad you're here.
And if you're nodding along or thinking, I needed this, go ahead and tap that like button and subscribe if you want more videos like this, and tell us that in the comments below. It helps other writers find us, and let's be honest, we all need our people. And if you're staring down a blank page, wondering where to start, don't worry, we've got your back. Sometimes the best ideas don't come from carefully planned outlines or brainstorming sessions. They show up when you least expect them, on a walk, in the shower, or right as you're falling asleep. The 5th idea, generating strategy, is random thoughts. These are the hidden gems.
You know those weird little ideas that make no sense at first? The ones that pop into your brain like, what if ghosts could use dating apps? Or what if a bakery had a cursed rolling pin? Those are the golden nuggets.
I tell my creative writing students all the time, use the Notes app on your phone, write on a Post-it note, or type random thoughts on a Word document. Just write them down. Don't judge them. Just capture them.
Seriously, some of our best story seeds came from completely random thoughts we almost forgot.
So here's a challenge. Take one of your own random thoughts, even if it's just one line, and give it 5 minutes of free writing. No editing, no second guessing.
Just ask, what's the worst, weirdest, or most wonderful way this could play out? Let your brain wander.
Your brain is better at connecting the dots than you think. Even if the idea makes 0 sense right now, trust that it'll find a home later, maybe in a character's backstory or an unexpected twist.
The creative subconscious is like a compost pile. Toss all your scraps in there. One day it turns into something rich and unusable.
Okay, that's a great analogy. So don't throw away those random thoughts. They might just be the beginning of your next favorite scene or the premise of your book.
We'd love to read some of your random thoughts, what if questions, or books, shows, or movies that have been an inspiration to you. Write them in the comments box below.
Okay, here's a quick recap. Ask what if questions. Start with character. Find inspiration in headlines. Borrow from and remix your favorites. Don't ignore random thoughts.
You don't have to know the whole story to get started. Just pick one spark and chase it.
And don't forget, your ideas don't have to be perfect. They just have to be written down. Okay, here is your writing prompt that we promised you after each video to get your creative juices flowing. You can use a character you already have in mind, or you can make one up as you go. Write a short scene using a hot pink desk chair? If you're looking for more inspiration, check out our next video and we'll see you next week. So we asked, what if she's a bridesmaid in a college? So we asked, what